Hey, this is Mark Shepard, and welcome to Cowabungah.com. This is the place where everything that I do comes together. And if you don't know who I am, that's okay. The thing is, it's not about me, really. Cowabungah is about you. It's about being able to explore the magnificence that is you, to be able to explore the multidimensional being that is you. You know, so for me, I got so frustrated because I have talents and interests in a lot of different areas and a lot of different fields. And that's really the human being. I mean, if you think about what we had to be able to do in Paleolithic times, for example, the average man had to know how to hunt. He had to know how to hunt all kinds of different animals. He had to know how to fight and defend the tribe, his family, and his close unit. He had to understand how to create shelter. He had to understand how to domesticate and train animals. He had to understand basic herbal knowledge so that if anybody got hurt or whatever, while he was on a hunting trip or whatever, he had to be a doctor. So just those many things. And then on the feminine side, there are all kinds of things that women had to know and had to do. And it wasn't just one thing. They weren't just taking care of the kids. They were farming. The women were the first farmers. If you look at the Native American, let's say the Iroquois, the women owned the property. The power was, matrilineal. So there was a division of labor, but it wasn't more important, less important. You know what I mean? So essentially, we are multidimensional beings. The human being, what's beautiful about us is that we can develop skills and abilities in lots of different areas because there are lots of different aspects to life. Shelter, food, clothing, those are the basic ones. And just think of those three things and all the skills they require. Now, at some point in our history, we became specialized. And I think that's a phase that at this point also has to go. Because if you are specialized in today's world and the economic situation changes so that what you're specialized in is no longer required, you're up a creek without a paddle, as they say. So you have to be flexible enough to be able to learn and apply. Take what you learn from this and apply it here. So the example I often use in my seminars is, let's say someone was the best wooden wagon wheel manufacturer, right? They just made the best wooden wagon wheels. Well, it doesn't matter, right? Because there's no demand for wooden wagon wheels anymore. I mean, there may be, a couple of wooden wagons that are being made for the Amish, maybe, or for movie props, but that's about it. And the Amish are actually using probably metal wagon wheels anyway, so, and they have rubber on their tires as well. So even the Amish are not in need of a handmade wooden wagon wheel, right? So if you were really good at making wooden wagon wheels and that market totally disappeared, what are you going to do if you've just specialized in that? You have to have other skills. You have to have other abilities. I mean, look at the whole process of video stores. When videos first became available, every mom and pop opened a little corner video store. That was like an entry-level entrepreneurial opportunity. But after a while, what happened? The blockbuster videos came in and the Hollywood videos came in and the mom and pops were gone. Well, then Netflix came in and now the blockbusters and the Hollywood videos are gone, right? And now even Netflix is moving on and it's changing to being actually not just a deliverer of product, but it's creating its own shows. So even Netflix is no longer just a deliverer of videos. Now they have online streaming and now they're creating their own shows. It's like in the old academic world, they talked about publish or perish. Well, now it's adapt or perish. Now it's change or perish. Now it's transform or perish. And it's the thing is though that every new layer, every new piece is built on the previous one. So it's not wasted. So let's say you were the best wagon wheel maker in the world. Wooden wagon wheels, you're just really good at it. Well, all of a sudden, nobody wants those anymore. But wooden wagon wheels are still cool. And if you turn them sideways, you can make really cool Western themed chandeliers with them. You know, maybe your whole next business is selling really cool Western themed wagon wheel chandeliers. Or maybe you adapt and go into making tires. Or maybe you adapt and go into making specialty wheels for motorcycles or cars, but you make them out of something different. Or maybe you find a way to use your hoop bending skills and you end up making frame drums and selling them to, rock musicians. I don't know. There's all these different things so that anything that seems like a failure, anything that seems like a dead end is not. So that's the Cowabungah tip for today. And the tip is basically you have to become a multi-talented, multi-dimensional, multi-skilled person in this world. Essentially, we are being forced to become Renaissance men and women. And that's really maybe the point of personal mastery is that this is information for people who don't watch TV, essentially. The fact that you're even watching this sets you apart from the vast herd of people who do their little job in their little cubicle and go home at night and sit in front of the television being entertained. You are someone who is out there developing skills. And you may not be massively successful yet, but there's no success in today's world without mastery of all these different areas. You have to understand social media. You have to understand WordPress blogs. You have to understand, what's going on with the internet. You have to understand people's mindsets and how people want to be sold to. They don't want to be sold to. They want to be educated. They want to be serviced. They want to be supported. They want to be allowed to really flourish, right? So that's what we're speaking to. We're speaking to a higher level of experience and existence that really calls upon you and me to dig down into ourselves and to come up with the resources, the resourcefulness, the flexibility, the open-mindedness, the curiosity, the willingness to learn so that we can adapt to the changing conditions around us. And that's really one of the key essentials for any business person, the key essential for any academic person, the key essential for any athlete, really for any artist, for any musician, in any realm or field of endeavor today. The ability to adapt and to learn and to apply what you've learned and to evaluate how it worked so you can do it better is ultimately a massive mastery, personal mastery skill. So whatever you're doing, you may actually be in fear right now because you may be, here's an example. I know someone who makes her living transcribing, spoken word, right? And she was afraid because they have this new Dragon Speak, we have voice recognition software, that her job was not needed, right? And I said to her, well, why don't you become an expert in Dragon Speak, right? Because someone could give her a transcript and instead of typing it, she could use Dragon Speak to type it out, right? And then hand them the transcript. She could understand that there's a learning curve with Dragon Speak. I mean, I got it. I tried it. And I thought, I could do a video like this and just, it would transcribe it. But no, you actually have to speak into a microphone. So, and you have to speak in a certain way. So it would just ruin the flow, So wow, it seems like that's a dead end, but it's really an opportunity, right? That's the point I'm trying to make, is that you think, oh, nobody needs this anymore. I'm an expert in wooden wagon wheels, but nobody needs them anymore. What am I going to do? Well, you can take the tools you have and find another way to apply them. That's it. That's simple. It's called flexibility. It's called adaptability. And that, my friend, is a Cowabungah key tip for today. Cowabungah.com. Be flexible. Be open-minded. Be aware that it's an opportunity. It just may not look like it. So have a great day.